Business lessons to learn from Iron Man, Tony Stark. 1. Learn from your mistakes. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Leaders will make mistakes, but they learn something from every one. Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Tony Stark, is a genius, but he makes mistakes, as we all do. When he is captured by a terrorist group, he is shocked into analyzing his predicament, and begins to learn from the mistakes he has made throughout his life. The lesson for us: we will make mistakes throughout our life, especially as we strive and stretch a little further than we can reach. It allows us to grow, but as we grow we become more prone to make mistakes once in a while. When leaders make mistakes, they analyze, learn, and move on. 2. Develop your sense of social responsibility. In a world of lies and liars, an honest work of art is always an act of social responsibility. Tony Stark thought he had a sense of social responsibility. His rationale was that his company had to produce weapons so that the bad guys could be kept at bay. The ordeal he went through caused him to realize that this false sense of social responsibility was a result of justifying an illogical position. When he saw that the weapons he produced were falling into the wrong hands, he finally came to his senses and to the unpopular decision to stop producing weapons, a true social responsibility. Good and thoughtful leaders develop a solid sense of social responsibility as they realize that they and the organizations they lead are part of a much larger whole. 3. Don't allow people to filter what you need to hear. It is better to feel and to suffer than to go through life isolated, insulated, and lonely. If you allow it, some people will try to filter what you should hear. Tony Stark was filtered by his supposed right-hand man, Obadiah Stane, who did not have Stark's best interests at heart. A good leader plugs into the organization at various levels to make sure that they get unfiltered communication and feedback. In this manner, they are in tune with what is really going on, and they make better decisions. 4. Let down your facade and really communicate. Plants are more courageous than almost all human beings. An orange tree would rather die than produce lemons, whereas instead of dying the average person would rather be someone they are not. Moka Koma Moka Nawana. One of the most difficult things I had to learn as a leader was to get off my high horse, come back down to earth, and communicate. Big words, sophisticated phrasing, complex concepts, and boring analogies and cliches just don't come across as straightforward and honest. When Tony Stark sat down on the floor at the press conference and just plain talked to people, he was able to communicate his true beliefs and feelings, and to come across credibly. That's what great leaders do. Strip away the fancy stuff and just plain talk. 5. Develop and follow your noble cause. All I ask is this: do something. Try something. Speaking out, showing up, writing a letter, a check, a strongly worded email. Pick a cause. There are few unworthy ones. You can't lead unless people are willing to follow. But how do you get people to follow you? Dave Logan, of tribal leadership fame, tells us that it's a noble cause that attracts people to a leader, and keeps them engaged and involved. Tony Stark's first cause, supplying the war machine with weapons, isn't very noble. But when he develops and talks about his real noble cause, those that have been profiting from the first cause run for the hills, and the true admirers line up solidly behind him. Good leaders have integrity and great skills, as Chris Widener tells us, but great leaders also develop and communicate a noble cause that they follow. That is what draws followers to them,